All right, so LinkedIn have changed how hashtags work. It's going to have a major impact for you if you want to get eyes on your content, land more inbound leads. And you might be wondering, what do I do instead in order to get the attention of my ideal clients on LinkedIn? In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what to do. We haven't actually used hashtags for a long time because this tactic that I'll share today has always worked better. But before I go into the tactic that I use and how I do it, just quickly, what's happened? LinkedIn have already removed the number of people associated with a hashtag. And it's also been discussed and seen from many people. Speaking to LinkedIn support, they're phasing them out so you will no longer have hashtags. What do hashtags do? Why are they useful? And why do we need to replace them? Basically, what a hashtag allows you to do is target a certain group of people that are interested in the topic of the hashtag. So that's going to be really interesting and really useful for you if you sell a certain thing. If you sell digital marketing, you target people who follow that hashtag. If you target health, you target people who follow that hashtag. But it's going away. So let's jump into the tactic I use. Just quickly before we do it, it's really important before we go into the tactic and what we do to understand how important it is to post, how frequently you should post, how you should think about your posting, and how you should get past imposter syndrome. Because I think all of us, no matter if we use hashtags or not, we understand that it's important to understand the fundamentals and what works on LinkedIn before we go into the more granular tactics that give it that boost, right? And the example I want to give here is Pete Best. Do you know who Pete Best is? If you're in the United States and you're a sports fan, you may know who Pete Best is. You don't even need to be a baseball fan in order to know who he is. Because I'm British, I have no idea how baseball works. No idea. I've been to a game, but I didn't get it right. But what's interesting about Pete Rose is he's top 10 of all time for runs scored when it comes to baseball. But when you look at Pete Rose for home runs, he's not even in the top 300. And what's a home run? He quite literally hits it out the park and runs round the entire diamond and does a home run. Now, what does that tell us about content? You may be thinking, well, a lot of people, what they try and do when it comes to LinkedIn content, growing a business, getting inbound leads, building thought leadership, becoming an authority, is they, figuratively speaking, try and hit it out the park every single time. But really, over the years myself, lots of following YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, 2.8 million cash collected, clients doing business, a fractional sales manager done 3 clients, 2,000 followers on LinkedIn, a Salesforce consultant literally just started posting content, did a 250 grand deal. How did they do that? They did it by thinking like Pete Rose. How do you think like Pete Rose? Stop trying to hit it out the park every single time. Hit those singles. Go from here to here to here to here. If you hit the single every single day, you will have absolutely no problem in growing your business on LinkedIn and applying this tactic that replaces hashtags. Let's move on to number 2, top of funnel, because that's what hashtags were used for. What's top of funnel, Mark? Top of funnel is when somebody has no idea who you are. So maybe for me, they see this bold guy with a British accent in the feed. They're like, who's this guy? I've never seen him before. And why is this important? It's really important because in order to get qualified leads and get leads consistently, people first of all have to know who you are. And then once they know who you are, that's step 1. Step 2 would be then educating them and converting them into paying clients. That's the 2 steps involved in any business. Top of funnel, and then you've got separately step 2, mid and bottom funnel. I'm just going to quickly cover top of funnel, number 1, and then I'll go to mid and bottom funnel, because top of funnel is the foundation upon which your business relies. And I'm going to tell a really interesting story about how I lost 27.7 pounds and how I shared that post, even though I don't sell weight loss, even though my business has totally nothing to do with weight loss, but yet it was one of the most successful posts that we did in terms of top of funnel and generating a lot of interested leads that we were then able to move through to becoming clients. Now, you might be thinking, why are you telling me about weight loss, Mark? Well, I lost 27.7 pounds and I sell business growth services. I solve problems around lead generation, marketing, B2B growth, B2C growth. So why am I posting about my weight loss? Because quite simply, top of funnel, anything goes. The name of the game is attention. The name of the game is utilizing whatever you can to get attention. So what is the number one way to get attention? The number one way to get attention is not just to think about what you sell, it's to actually go deeper and think about the problems that your target market is solving in their life. Now, we target people aged over 40, 35 plus at a stretch. And what I figured out and what I learned and what I've helped my clients understand is that when we reach certain stages in life, we have a different priority than when we were 20. I don't know. Do you see all these kids posting in their 20s? I mean, I was there once. You were there once. They want the Lamborghinis, their weights, the gym. They want to like optimize their sleep. I mean, me, I just want to be healthy. I just want to get a night's sleep before my kids wake me up. And I'm not interested in cars. I'm interested in going see my son at school, right? The priorities change. So instead of talking to the market, just what you sell, target the market and share content about where you are in life, your priorities and your value system. And I didn't realize it at the time, but losing weight ticked all those boxes. People over 40, they want to be healthy. They're thinking about retirement. They're thinking about more time, energy, and focus to spend with the kids. Tick, tick, tick. It worked. That's tip one. Tip two, bonus tip. This video is about a current topic. If you go on Google and you see the top trends, go and look at the trends. Jump on any trend and you will utilize the force of that trend to get your top of funnel further. Why would you want to use the power of that trend? It's very, very simple. If you go into a river comes down from the mountains, the river basin, out to the sea or the ocean. It flows in one direction. It's a lot easier to swim with the current than it is to go against the current. And swimming with the current when it comes to top of funnel content is absolutely just going with the trends. All right, number three, this is actually the most important part once you've got number one and number two in place. And I'm going to use HubSpot as an example for this. Who's HubSpot? If you don't know who HubSpot are, they're in the B2B world, in the online world, they're one of the most established and predominantly respected software platforms for growing your lead generation. You don't need to use HubSpot or know who HubSpot are in order to implement what I'm about to show you. But what HubSpot did, and I read the book back here, Sales Acceleration Formula, by the first sales director of HubSpot, who took them from 0 to 100 million. And he taught me something very interesting about mid-funnel and bottom-of-funnel content. And what's mid-funnel and bottom-of-funnel content? Once you've got their attention at the top of funnel, you then need to move them through into becoming paying clients. And a lot of people don't know the difference between those, and they're just throwing stuff out. So what do you do when you go to mid to bottom? Quite simply, what I figured out is the best way to educate my clients without getting them on a sales call. Why did I try and figure that out? Because it's really hard to book a sales call. I don't know about you. I don't want to spend all day chasing people on social media. I don't even want to log on to social media. There's much better things to do with my life. As much as I do love growing my business and networking, it's not what I want to spend my whole day doing. Now, you may or may not resonate with that. But what I figured out how to do, even if you don't resonate with that, is how to do it in a lot less time by using what I'm about to show you. Now, what HubSpot shared, and you'll see this on the screen, is on their website, they have 2 calls to action. On all their social media, they have 2 calls to action. They have the ability to sign up for a trial with their software, or they have the ability to book a call. That's it. They've got a heavy commitment, bottom of funnel, and they've got a mid-funnel commitment, which is to take an action. What they shared in the book is they know if someone signs up for that mid-funnel action, the probability of them becoming a client is very, very high. High enough on which to base a business, i.e. high enough to build resources around, build assets, build the business out. Now, you may or may not know what that optimal mid-funnel is. If you don't know what that mid-funnel is, it's a good thing to get in place. If you know what that mid-funnel is, it's still going to be useful for you to understand this. So what do? We do events, and we've played with newsletters. Do one of those 2 things for mid-funnel. So there we go. LinkedIn are removing hashtags. Doesn't matter. Just replace them with top of funnel content, speaking to where people are in life. Understand then how to move them through to becoming a paying client with events or newsletters. There's going to be a video up here showing you how to do landing pages. There's going to be a video up here showing you how to do LinkedIn profiles, because both of these things need to be in place for top of funnel and mid funnel. And if you want a guide on how we do events and how we've done the newsletter, click below. It explains to you how to set it up, the frequency with which to do follow-up, what to say on the landing page, what not to say on the landing page, how to get people to opt in legally in the US.